And easterly waves are essential for the formation of a hurricane. We don't have this wave formation taking place. Hurricane will not form. This becomes a low pressure trough again. It's an area of low pressure along the axis of the wave. Only a small percentage of easterly waves turn into tropical storms. They're still trying to ascertain what are the triggering agents to go from this to a hurricane. They haven't been able to do it. And your author, I think, alludes to 3 or 4 different theories. And they're still looking at that one key that will be used to predict all hurricanes. Well, what happens in this tropical wave is that all of a sudden you develop this low pressure system. And air goes in, which way? Counterclockwise. So it's going in counterclockwise into the system. So as soon as that low develops, we have the beginnings of a hurricane. And there are stages in hurricane development. I want to make sure we have the first stage is referred to as a tropical depression. Wind speeds 39 miles per hour. So wind speeds within that system 35 miles per hour. Then if it intensifies, it's a tropical storm. Wind speeds up to 74 miles per hour, and then a hurricane or a typhoon or a willy when you have speeds greater than 74 miles per hour. Yes, ma'am?
What's the wind speed in tropical depression?
Okay, tropical depression up to 39, and again, don't worry about these numbers. The only number I want you to worry about is at 74. But your author identifies these stages in a storm, so I felt I should also at least mention those stages. So you start with a depression, it goes to a storm, goes to a hurricane. At any point, it could dissipate. At any point, this would come to an end. So it need not go from one to the other to the last. And many of them don't. Many start out as a disturbance, they'll go to a storm, they'll peter out. And what happens, they begin to migrate out of this zone, 5 to 25 mile an hour, 5 to 25 degree zone. They encounter cold water. And by encountering cold water, you cut off the energy supply. So, now if we look at a cross section of a hurricane, there are a series of clouds that build up. The closer you get to the center of this cyclone, the higher the clouds. And the center of this cyclone is referred to as the eye. The eye of the hurricane is dead center, and it is unique because it may be several miles wide. And within this storm that's going all around you, the eye is absolutely calm. No wind. You look around you, you see blue sky above you. You see clouds all the way around you. Right above you, you see blue sky. You may see the sun. But you know there's turbulence all the way around your location. But the eye wall clouds are truly the best developed cumulonimbus clouds you're going to find. A lot of electrical discharges in these cloud masses. The tornadoes occasionally associated with these. as long as they have the supply of energy, warm tropical waters, these things will continue to flow, continue to blow. But as soon as we cut off that water supply, bam, it's gone. So this thing, when it hits land, the water supply, the energy supply is gone, and it begins to dissipate. Much like tornadoes, there are about 3 major causes of death and destruction. Obviously, the wind, 75 plus miles per hour, creates problems. Obviously, the 10 to 12 inches of rain will create problems. The electrical discharges will create problems. Well, one of the biggest issues with a hurricane that you don't find with anything else, something called the storm surge. The winds literally will push the ocean waters onto the land in a major wall of water. Katrina, they were saying that the storm surge caused a 30-foot high wall of water to come on land. Now, 30 feet of water, what are we looking at in this room? Maybe 20 feet the highest, add another 10 or so, maybe more. That kind of surge onto the land surface creates major death, major destruction. In 1970, in Bangladesh, where's Bangladesh? What continent? Asia, South Asia. It's a neighbor of India. It's at the Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal is kind of an interesting bay in that what you see is a funnel-like shape. Here's India, then you get Malaysia. Bangladesh is here, so you've got this inverted funnel. And storm surge is pushing up through this area during typhoon. In 1970, resulted in 500,000 fatalities. 500,000 fatalities. 1991, 130,000 fatalities. And what we see here is basically a couple of problems. The shape of the Bay of Bengal, plus also it's the delta of the Ganges River. And deltas are low-lying areas, and you have a high population density. So there's no place to go.
Go for our test now.
What?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we have like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
I mean, oh darn.
No, I'm done. Coming up there to shut this off.
How did this all gonna be on our plate?